Hey
How are y'all
everyone.
doing?
Hope everybody's having a good day, good night.
We got Mama Sharon, Bailey, April, Cheyenne, Kristen, and Ben.
Ben Allen.
All right.
Yeah, I was told to remind everyone to like the video, share the video, subscribe to our page if you're not already.
Yeah. So tonight we're going to share some pictures from some different trips, including the one we just took. And we're going to talk about it.
Our treehouse adventure.
Yeah.
I know Cheyenne has been anxiously waiting to hear about the treehouse adventure.
Yeah. Here we go.
Here we go. And producer Bailey has put in so much hard work
She has.
into this, so
Yeah.
give Bailey a hand clap.
All right. So that is the inside and the outside of our treehouse. It was really awesome. The air did tear up.
Everywhere we go, the air conditioner tears up. It's started to be comical.
Yeah. So it was fine the night before. The first night. The second night, it like he said it started making some crazy noise and it was froze up.
And it iced up and was spitting water out at us.
Yeah. So we had to he turned it off and got it to unfreeze and then he turned it back on. But I mean, the past few times we've been on a trip, the air's broke wherever we're at, whether it be a hotel, whatever. So, but besides that, it was really nice. You do not get, it does not have a TV.
No TV.
You do not get Wi-Fi.
No Wi-Fi.
And you barely have any signal.
Barely.
Like, you would get like one bar, but like you couldn't like scroll Facebook or anything.
Couldn't send pictures, videos.
No.
None of that.
None of that. It was something, let me tell you. And then and that was like the romance package or whatever you could get with it. And they had like a charcuterie board in the refrigerator, and that was like apple cranberry, like like bubbly, like non-alcoholic. I don't know. It was good. Whatever it was good. Yeah. So next picture, Bailey. All right. This
is the longest land bridge east of the Rocky Mountains.
Yes.
We saw this sign. We went to Tupelo on Tuesday, and we saw a sign that said longest land bridge east of the Rockies. So when we were on the way back, we stopped. We had no idea. We thought we were just going to look at something. We didn't know that it was going to require hiking to get to it and find it.
Yeah.
And just like I told y'all last week, we would hike, and we did hike.
Yeah, we did.
Just as I said.
Yeah, and I didn't know what we were signed up for. So I had my purse with me on the hike because I had no idea that we were like going hiking. So we just got out of the car. So of course I grabbed my purse and we got out of the car. And anyway, sure enough, we were hiking. Hey, Kyle.
Is that all the pictures you got of the hike?
So
there it is.
So yeah, there it is.
Longest natural bridge east of the Rocky.
Yes. So we had to like climb up rocks and down rocks, and it was wild. We were in like mud.
Yeah.
Part of it. It was wild.
We passed some people that were way more hikers than we were. One of the girl didn't even have shoes on.
Yeah, I don't know about hikers.
They were hippies. They were way more outdoors than we were. Like,
yeah. Their baby didn't have any clothes on. All that baby had on was a diaper.
That girl was walking in the woods with no shoes.
No shoes.
She's hardcore.
Yeah, that's true. And then she was in the creek thing.
Yeah, she got in the water.
She
I'm good
did.
on all that.
Mm-hmm. We looked like we did not belong. I almost feel like that lady sabotaged us. I feel like she signed us up because she knew.
She probably had a camera out there. She's probably laughing at
She
you
was
right
probably
now.
rolling.
Yeah.
Oh boy. All right. Let's go to our next one.
We are hiking in the woods. We are hiking in the woods. We are
they can hear it.
hiking
Yeah.
in the woods.
All right, you can go to the next one, Bailey.
This is the actual bridge.
Yeah,
the
we
natural
walked
bridge.
that all up in there. We did that.
Yeah, we did that. That's my hair.
Yeah, how gray it was. That was his.
Tough Mudder
Morris.
Morris.
I don't know about it. Yeah, go ahead. So only from here they couldn't hear us? Okay. Producer Bailey fixed us. So, first of all, before we talk about the Tupelo, let's finish talking about the tree house.
Mm-hmm.
So, the first night, we are laying in bed, and I see these lights everywhere. I'm like, what in the world? So, they had like this projector that would like light up all different colors outside. It was really cool.
Yeah.
But I mean, when you have no TV, I mean, that's all you kind of have to watch. So, I mean, I guess they do have to give you something to look at, projector lights or whatever. But his daddy asked us, what about eating?
Yeah. Y'all having to cook your own food?
If you plan on eating.
We plan on eating, we do.
But we actually didn't cook anything.
No.
We ate the charcuterie board. Well, I did. Some of that, some grapes, some chips.
I ate a bag of chips.
Yeah. But then, so Tuesday we went to Tupelo, to Elvis's birthplace. And I've been there a couple times, but you'd never been, right? Yeah. He had never been. So the little house that has the swing on the porch, that is the house that Elvis was actually born in. It was, how many square feet? It was
Don't get me to
not
lie.
a lot. 400?
Yeah, at the most.
Yeah, I think they said it was 400 square feet.
Yeah, I don't think it was that big, but yeah.
I think that's what they said, though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was 2 rooms.
It was 2 rooms. It was very small. And that's where he was born. And then the other little white building, that is the church that he grew up in. And that's actually where he started singing. So that was cool. And then that top picture of us eating, that was at Johnny's. Or as the lady at the birthplace called it.
Johnny's.
Johnny's.
That's Johnny's.
That's Johnny's. And it's a cash only little hole in the wall. They have a great cheeseburger. And it's super cheap.
But we just so happened to walk in as Elvis's booth was empty. It was the booth he always sat in.
Yeah.
And she got to sit in the exact seat that Elvis always sat in.
I did.
Her cheeks were where Elvis's cheeks spent a mini lunch.
Yeah. So it was pretty cool. When Bailey and I went, we didn't get to sit in the Elvis booth. Someone else was there that day. So
That's the favor of the Lord.
yeah.
Because I was with you.
Right. What it was. So, yeah, that was really cool. If y'all ever go to Tupelo, I don't know why you would go to Tupelo.
You would have no reason to go to Tupelo.
You should go to Johnny's and eat a cheeseburger.
You would have to be going to see Elvis's birthplace if you were going to Tupelo.
Well, I've been to a couple concerts in Tupelo.
Okay.
April's been to a concert with me in Tupelo.
Oh.
Actually. Tell him, April. He don't know. All right. We can go to the next one. Okay. All right. So that is outside of Johnny's at the bottom. And so it's a drive-in dining place. That's why. So we're sitting in the car because he's on a work call. And the lady comes to the window and she's like, "Are you guys
y'all coming in or staying out?"
Yeah, y'all coming in or staying out? I was like, "Oh, we're coming in." See, April said, "Actually, yes, we have."
Excuse me, April.
Yeah, he don't know.
My bad.
And then you see the lights on the picture. That was outside of our room. And you had to get a remote to turn those off, which it was very bright. We started to go to bed, and that's what it looked like. But that's what it looked like. But anyway.
So yeah, if you're into that sort of thing, 10 out of 10.
Yeah, I mean it was fun. I would have been okay with one night.
Yeah.
But it had a 2-night minimum. So we did 2 nights. Had I known it didn't have a TV, I don't know. I don't know. I'm not going to say I wouldn't have went because I probably still would have went.
I had to go against every fiber of my being.
Yeah.
Not to pitch a fit because they didn't have a TV when I found out they didn't have a TV.
Yeah.
But I was a good soldier.
He was.
And we enjoyed it.
We did.
So.
Yeah. I would go back. But if we go to another one, I would prefer pick one that has either Wi-Fi or a TV.
Yeah, Wi-Fi would have worked because then I could have watched TV
Wi-Fi.
on my phone.
Yes. And I had my iPad, but and it has service, but we didn't have any signal.
You don't have any of that either.
So, yeah. But it was fun. We had a good time.
Yeah, I mean we were out there Lewis and Clark in it. It was wild, like Oregon Trail stuff. Like I couldn't imagine
living like that.
No. Or, some people just choose to go out and live like that.
Yeah.
There's just no way. That's just not me.
No. I had a purse with me on the hiking trail. That happened. But it reminded me of whenever my dad took me horseback riding one time in the mountains in Tennessee. And I got out of the car to go horseback riding with my purse then, too. I was 15 years old. Some things never change. I didn't learn, apparently, 23 years later, and I'm still carrying a purse on a trail.
Yeah. No good.
No good. All right. Next. And please, y'all can ask any kind of questions about these trips.
The scruff, I had to keep the scruff. I shaved today. I kept the scruff. So, I wanted to really make it an experience.
Yeah. So, Kristen said, I know Slade kept the scruff for dramatic effect.
Yeah.
Remember I told you when you go back and rewatch this, people can't always see those.
Yeah, I kept the scruff because I really wanted people to know I was roughing it.
Yeah. Yeah. And we were.
Yes, we were.
All right. So, New York, another place we've been. I've been several times, but he and I have been together once. Me, him, and both of the kids. Bailey walked in New York Fashion Week. That's her modeling in Times Square in the top. It was a really cool experience for her. It was a really cool experience for us. Just to watch her do something that she enjoys. It was cool. New York is a cool place. I love it. He doesn't love it. I'll let him.
That's not true.
Okay, well then you talk.
Okay, so here we go. We're going to do this like this. On a 1 to 5, one potato being the worst possible experience you could have.
You're Sounds like you had a big time.
Yeah, we had a big time. 5 potatoes being the best possible trip you could have. So this is my couch potatoes guide to traveling the world. I would give New York City 4 potatoes.
High.
That's high.
Yeah.
Do I want to go back? Maybe not. But it's a good experience. I think everyone should see it once in their life.
I despise
New York.
Kyle said used to spend Christmas in Times Square as a kid. I despise New York.
I never thought I would like it. Didn't want to go.
Potatoes.
Really, the only reason that I did go is because Bailey had something there, and I was pleasantly surprised. Now, as Kyle said, I probably wouldn't go back. It's not something I necessarily would ever want to do again, but it is a good experience once, I think, to see, because it's unlike anything that if you never leave this little corner of Alabama, you'll never see anything like that, and I think it's worth seeing once.
Yeah. Or me, I'd go at least once a year.
Kristen said, I want to see it once in my life. Kyle, take that girl to see New York City.
If he won't take you, Kristen, I'll take you. Me and Bailey will take you. We love it there. New York has great food, and I'm a foodie at heart. They have great shopping, and we all know I like to shop. They have really cool shows, and I love shows. Kyle said he'd go for Kristen or the kids, but not for myself.
Good call, Kyle.
Yeah. So, excuse me, sorry, but I enjoy it. It's a great time. Bailey and we stayed right there in Times Square, so we walked pretty much everywhere. We had a great time when we went. We just went in February, and we really enjoyed it. But
go ahead.
I was going to say, I will say this. The Lion King Broadway show was not what it was cracked up to be.
Oh,
and I love shows. Oh, he went and saw Phantom of the Opera. I really wanted to see that, but they don't have it in New York anymore.
Lion King was terrible.
But Phantom of the Opera is actually supposed to come back to New York this year. They had stopped doing it for a few years, so I would love to go see that. Phantom of the Opera, I love the movie that came out several years ago. Gosh, before he and I were ever married.
Yeah, I fell asleep during The Lion King.
Yeah, The Lion King was not all it's cracked up to be. I think that the CDAC here puts on a better performance.
Yeah, SpongeBob at the Opera House was better than The Lion King.
Matthew Morris.
It was. I thoroughly enjoyed SpongeBob at the Opera House.
Who went and saw that?
Me and Gavin.
Oh.
Or Gavin and I.
Oh, okay. So anyway, you're going to say the 9/11.
Oh, the 9/11 stuff in New York City, the 9/11 museum, all that stuff, awesome. Like,
yes,
5 potatoes. Great, great, great. If you get the opportunity, if you get the chance to go once in your life, I would highly recommend it.
If you go to freak like when the chandelier falls.
What?
Don't freak out when the chandelier falls. So it was cool. So whenever I went to New York twice when I was a child. Not a child. Well, yeah, I was a child. And 9/11, the Twin Towers were still standing. Well, then whenever my oldest sister got married in New York, and I went, it was November of 2005. So they had not built the memorial. It wasn't complete yet. It was literally just nothing there. It was just the ground. And so it was really cool to go back and see what they've done now. So I have pictures of the Twin Towers, of me seeing them in person, and when I was younger. And so I don't know. It was very, very. It's a very somber place. It's moment. It was anyway. So I would definitely recommend that.
Yeah, 4 out of 5 potatoes.
Yeah. All right, Bailey, next.
The armpit of the United States.
This is Los Angeles. So I would go back without him and actually like go do some things. Bailey and I have actually tossed around maybe going next year.
Be the worst decision that you could make.
But he did not like it. He wouldn't let us leave the room.
0 potatoes.
New Jersey.
Can't speak on New Jersey.
I've been to New Jersey.
Los Angeles, California is horrible.
And if any of y'all have any questions about any of these places, don't forget, drop it. We'll answer it. Okay, so LA. We flew into LA and we stayed a night because we were getting on a cruise the next day to go to several places in Mexico. So, excuse me. So, we stayed in Beverly Hills. Supposed to be, because we had already talked about it, we weren't staying in some ranky-dank place in LA because, I mean, it's not very safe. So we stay in Beverly Hills, one of the nicest hotels I've probably ever stayed in my life. I mean, it was very, very nice.
I couldn't get past.
Like the pool was very nice. The restaurant there was nice. Everything was top notch inside there. You could even take a Cadillac. You could just take a Cadillac out of there if you wanted to.
Yeah, we met, I had breakfast with Jeff Goldblum there.
Yes, at their restaurant
and also
downstairs. He was staying
and
there.
also got food poisoning.
Yes, he did that.
0,
I did not.
0 potatoes.
So I think LA would be a cool place to go and explore. But anyway, he didn't like it. Whatever. So we had to stay in the room the whole night because he wouldn't let us leave. But down on Santa Monica, was it on Santa Monica? The hotel across the street from us, they were having a riot.
No, they
what
were.
doing?
They were. Oh gosh, what's the word I'm looking for?
Not boycotting, but
They were. No,
they weren't protesting. They
oh
were
my gosh, they were picketing.
picketing. Yes,
Yeah.
and they were like they had these big loud.
Yeah, house cleaning had went on strike at the motel across the street from us, and they got out.
They were wow. We have a video of that. If any of y'all would like to see it,
and they played music, and
we can show it to you at church.
And they chanted the entire time that we were there.
The entire time. The police came, I can't count how many times, to basically try to like quiet them down because it was getting out of control.
It was not working though. And apparently they had been doing this for months.
Yes.
They had been picketing on the side of the road.
They had tents and all kinds of stuff set up out there. Yeah. Yeah, it was a good time.
If you ever get the chance to go to Los Angeles, don't.
All right. Okay. So this Bailey put these pictures together. So actually the one on the left, that's not Cabo. I'm going to
Good
tell
job, producer.
She's gonna have to go back in just a second. Flip to the next one. Okay, that's Cabo to the right. Those 3 rock things, that's like a landmark in Cabo. I actually have that picture hanging in the salon. And it's just a landmark in Cabo that it's beautiful. The water is beautiful. Cabo was beautiful. That's where we did the whale watching.
Yeah,
that was really cool.
I'll give Cabo 2 potatoes for the scenery and the whale watching.
2
potatoes.
You're insane.
Everything else about Cabo was terrible.
Okay. So the church that you see there, that's in Mazatlan. And go back, Bailey, the picture before. That's the inside of the church. It was very pretty. For Mazatlan to be such a poor place, that church was gorgeous.
Yeah.
It really was. We did leave some people. So we on the cruise, we got off in Cabo, we got off in Mazatlan, and then Puerto Vallarta. And we left some of our people. So all 3 of those places, we took a bus. And it takes you to like all the like, well, no, we didn't do that in Cabo. Cabo, we went whale watching. The other 2 places, we took a bus. And it takes you to all the like big places in
Landmarks.
That city or whatever, what it's known for, all of the things. And they like tell you about the place and everything. Well, Mazatlan, we were all down at this town square. And we went and used the restroom, everybody. And then from there, we went to the church. And after the church, we were given strict instructions to meet our guide in this one spot. We all did that. So he walks us to the bus. We all get on the bus. We realize we're missing, 3 people?
2 or 3 people.
Okay. So he runs back. Our guide runs back, tries to find them. Can't find these people. We left them in Mazatlan, Mexico.
The bus drove off without them.
They did that. So if you guys ever go on a cruise and they tell you, and he had told us, I know 100 times, stay with me. Stay with me. Old folks, they want to do whatever they wanted to. And they did, and they got left. So I don't know if they made it back to the boat or not, but they did not make it back to the bus. I can tell you that.
Mazatlan, 1 potato.
Yeah, Mazatlan was very poor.
Dirty.
It was dirty. I think, and he barely saw Cabo, so that's why I said 2 potatoes, really. He didn't really get to see it. We only got to see the port, and that was it. Bailey's pageant coach, she goes to Cabo every year, and she stays at a resort there, and she really enjoys it. I think had we been somewhere else in Cabo, it might have been different. But, I mean, just anytime you get off of a cruise ship in another country, they're wanting you to buy their goods, whatever it is. But I mean, they're poor. I mean, that's the thing, what they're trying to do. All right.
Next, producer.
All right. So we are in Vegas. Vegas is one of my
out of 5 potatoes, yeah, one out of 5 potatoes.
For Mazatlan.
One potato is like should be the worst, but then you got Los Angeles, which is 0.
And now Puerto Vallarta, Bailey, go back. I know I had sent a picture of Puerto Vallarta. Okay, that top picture, that is Puerto Vallarta. Actually.
1 potato.
Puerto Vallarta was beautiful, but it was a sketchy place. We had to go through some like mountains there.
It was so
yeah, it was very strange.
So sketch.
But I will say this. Where was it that we saw the other church? It wasn't Mazatlan.
It was Puerto Vallarta.
Puerto Vallarta. Okay, so we saw another church there, and you had to pass by this little food trolley cart, and they were literally, um,
You want to talk about Mexican street tacos? You could have got you one
they
there.
were digging stuff out of a 5-gallon bucket and cooking it in there. And y'all, the health department would have shut this place down.
Them people with us were literally getting this stuff, and we're like,
we were like, absolutely not.
What is wrong with you? I wouldn't even get a bottle of water
Absolutely
there. I would not eat there. There's not a chance.
No.
I mean, Los Angeles poisoned me. And then I get on the boat and go to these places, and I'm just like, man, this is the trip from hell.
Kristen said, go ahead and put me down for the next Cabo trip, too. Right now, we're New York, L.A., and Cabo. Yes.
You don't want to go to Los Angeles, Kristen. I
You
promise.
do. You do, Kristen. Not. You do. You want to do it. All right. Okay. So
Vegas, baby.
One of my favorite places, Las Vegas. We do not gamble at all. And my personal thoughts on the potatoes, Cheyenne. Let me go back. Mazatlan, I agree with him, 1 potato. Puerto Vallarta, 1 potato. Cabo, I would have given it 4 potatoes because it was absolutely beautiful, and I had the best time on the whale watching.
4 potatoes?
Yeah, I would have given it 4. I'd have given it 4.
Insane.
That's the prettiest water I think I've ever seen.
Oh my God.
And I've been a lot of places. Oh no, Turks and Caicos is the prettiest water. He hasn't been there. He would actually like it there. It's clean. But anyway, only Bailey and I have been. But okay, back to Vegas. Vegas is 5 out of 5 all day long. I love Vegas. I do not, as I said, we do not gamble at all.
Tried it once.
Gambling?
Yeah.
Yeah, we did. That was years ago.
My goodness.
Kyle better be getting on it with these jobs. I got places to go. So this Slade had a work trip actually. He had with a supplier, and so is why we went on this trip, and we stayed at the Venetian. That hotel is, I said earlier that the other hotel might have been the nicest. No, the Venetian is the nicest place I've ever stayed in my life. It is beautiful. Bailey and I actually just went back in August, and we stayed at the Venetian too. And I mean, you just can't go wrong with the place. It's gorgeous. So ever since we got married, I've wanted to go to Italy. You can just be the nanny like, oh, baby Billy has. So I've wanted to go to Italy since we got married. We're going to go our 20th anniversary, which is 2027. But I've wanted to ride a gondola. This is all he's heard about, is me riding a gondola in Italy. So when we were at the Venetian, he took me and let me ride a gondola. It was good.
Yeah, I'll give the Venetian.
Yeah, all of that is not outside. How it looks like there's clouds and stuff. That's all painted on the ceiling. Beautiful. All right, you can go to the next one, baby. Inside the Venetian also.
Yep. Nice. So yeah, I give Vegas 4 potatoes. It was
Yes, our gondola man sang to us.
Yes, he did. Yeah, it was
good.
It's Vegas. I don't know.
You can go back, Bailey, where there wasn't a video.
I guess it just
a
little too much of a party scene for me in Vegas.
Once again, I like to shop.
Yeah.
So
potatoes.
I love to shop, so I love that you can literally walk through the hotel and shop at most places I enjoy shopping at. So that was nice.
A lot of good food.
Yeah. Slade standards. Yeah, great food. Bailey and I, when we went in August, we ate at a place and we had a steak, and it was actually so here all of the Wagyu is Japanese. We ate an American Wagyu steak, and that's the best steak I've ever eaten in my life.
I can't eat Wagyu.
Yeah, Wagyu messes the stomach
Yeah,
up.
it does something terrible to me.
But yeah, I mean, anybody, Vegas is a cool place.
We ate at one place.
Oh, people just raved about this place.
No, that's not what I was going to talk about.
Go
but
ahead.
we ate at one place with Sean.
Oh, the Japanese place.
It was Brazilian, wasn't it?
No, it was Japanese.
Okay. But they brought out this food, and you literally put it on a rock.
And cooked it.
The rock was so hot that it cooked the meat. It was wild.
Yeah.
Yeah, wasn't great food. I mean, I guess it was. I don't know.
It was okay.
But it was wild.
The experience was cool.
It was a good experience. Yeah.
I thought you were going to talk about the steakhouse we ate at that everybody raves about. It's all over TikTok. It's everywhere.
Smith and Walensky or something.
Yeah.
Oh, it was so bad.
It was terrible.
It was burnt.
Yeah, it was terrible. Yeah. We did go see the Elvis impersonator. That was
that's a
good time.
That's a 5 potato trip.
I took
Elvis
Bailey
impersonator.
whenever we went to, and I mean, I'd fly to Vegas just to watch
it's
that guy.
It's at a hole in the wall motel off the strip. Like, you don't know if you're going to get out of there alive. But man, the Elvis show was great.
He did a great job.
Yeah.
And he travels all over the place. And
yeah, it took me back to my childhood when my mom would take me to see Elvis impersonators up in Tennessee and stuff.
I love that.
It was a good time.
Yeah, it was great.
I sent her all my videos.
All right, Bailey, you can go to. All right, the Bahamas. Bahamas, somewhere I've been a whole lot. I don't know. I've probably been at this point 5 or 6 times. It's not great. Like, people rave about the Bahamas. It's not. It's not that great. I've been a bunch of times because if you go on a cruise, if you go on a short cruise, that's always where they go. But if you go on a cruise in general, a lot of times that's a stop because it's close.
Jabberwockies.
The Atlantis is beautiful. The resort, but it's not that great. Nothing in the Bahamas is that great. I've toured the whole place multiple times now.
One potato in the Bahamas, and she said the Atlantis was nice. It was not to me. You go to Starbucks. I thought I was going to get kidnapped to go into Starbucks in the Atlantis. You go down and out, and then you go down some alley, and then you walk up under the building, and you're like, I think somebody's fixing to take our wallet.
Yeah. I mean, I guess when I say it was beautiful, like, it was the nicest place I saw, obviously.
Oh, it's definitely the nicest thing in the Bahamas.
Yeah. Bailey and I, now we did go to a little place off of, like the main island. It was called Pearl Island or something. And that actually wasn't bad. So it was, I'm not sure if it was a man-made beach, but that's what it looked like because the water was, it probably wasn't man-made, but it was like very shallow, and the water was totally clear. And they just had like different things out there that you could do. And we rented like a cabana, and that was nice, but like it wasn't anything that I was like, oh, we should do this again.
If I never went to the Bahamas again, it would be too soon.
Yeah. He probably will go to the Bahamas again just because he doesn't like long cruises and short cruises. That's your only option. Now, we went on a Disney cruise in November, and we went to the Bahamas, and their little private island, it was nice. Disney's private island. Yeah, that was in the Bahamas. Castaway Cay. Where we went and we played tennis, or no, we went and played ping pong and stuff. Yeah, their little private island was nice. But nothing about the Bahamas was nice. I would give it 2 out of 5 just because it is pretty. But
1 potato.
Now that pirate cruise,
that was a good time.
Yeah, we had a great time. Gavin actually drove the pirate boat because he got the most pirates booty.
Yep, we got all the pirate booty.
Yeah. So that was fun.
And I was down there fighting little kids trying to get coins. I was throwing elbows at 3-year-olds. Nobody gonna have more booty than we did. Yes.
All right, Bailey. DC. Now this is a sore subject for Bailey. She didn't get to go. We're going back next October for Gavin's birthday, because that's where he's chosen for his trip next year. DC is, for me, 5 out of 5 potatoes. That is an amazing place.
5 potatoes.
I mean, so, excuse me, sorry. Everything there, I felt safe. We walked everywhere. The hotel was nice. Everything was great. The Bible Museum was amazing. I can't say enough great things. I was in awe when I walked in that place. I have chill bumps talking about it. The Bible Museum it is something that I think every single Christian should go, every single person, period, should go and see.
Yeah, the Bible Museum was great.
I got teary-eyed multiple times.
Yeah. All the museums we saw were great. We were only there for 24 hours, basically, right?
48 hours.
48 hours. Not near enough time to see everything.
Next time, we'll definitely go 4 or 5 days.
Yeah, for sure. Just so much good stuff. So much good stuff. The museum's out of this world.
And everything's cheap or free.
Yeah, and did we see the White House?
Well, yeah, we got to see it, but we didn't get to go because you have to schedule.
You have to schedule it, but man, I would go there in a heartbeat again.
You can go to the second part.
You got a second picture?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, yeah, there you go. There's the Museum of whatever.
So
the Smithsonian.
The bottom picture down there with the red chair, that's actually where Lincoln was shot.
Yeah.
And go back to the other one, baby. Oh, okay. She just doesn't have it on there. Okay. I had sent some other pictures, but they're not on here. Of the place where we got to see where Lincoln was actually taken once he was shot, like where he was taken, and they tried to nurse him back. No, not Lincoln. It was John Wilkes Booth.
John Wilkes Booth.
Where he was taken. That was pretty cool. Everything there was cool. Christian said, I took a mission trip to D.C. and led a Bible study for a week with the Red Cross. A life-changing trip. 10 out of 10 potatoes. To take a trip and witness one day again. Just random people on the street for food. Wow, that's awesome.
That's awesome.
Yeah. It was he's not a big city person, really. He likes it. It's fine, but it's not somewhere that he really wants to go back and again. But DC, I think he would go back multiple times.
Yes. It's an expensive trip, though.
It is. It is an expensive trip. Okay, Bailey, you can go to the next one.
You can go to the Bahamas 10 times where it costs.
All right.
DC.
Everyone that knows us knows this is our go-to place.
5 potatoes.
Absolutely. We love Disney. Everything about Disney. We've been going every year since the kids were little, really little. And there and Universal. I didn't have a picture of Universal. I was trying to keep the pictures to a minimum because Bailey said it was really hard to get them on there. So I was trying not to just flood you guys with a bunch of pictures. But Disney's just
you can't explain it. You just gotta go. You just gotta go experience it for yourself.
And not everyone's Disney people, but my mom wasn't necessarily a Disney person until she went with us, and then she loved it. And I think it helps whenever you have someone who knows like their way around, and like we know like what rides to get on first. We know like where good places to eat. We've been so many times we don't have to have a map. We know our way around.
We maximize our Disney minutes.
Yes,
for sure. I started going to Disney when I was a kid. My mom and dad took me numerous times. I've been with my Aunt Gail. She's taken me, I think, more than one time. I had been so many times by the time that we got married, and you had been not at all or once. She had been once. And we went on our honeymoon to Disney. And
my 21st birthday, we spent in
21st birthday, we went to Disney. We've spent anniversaries at Disney.
Yeah.
We spend
Christmas every year at Disney.
Usually at Disney. I guess it's just our happy place.
Yeah.
Like that's where we like to be there.
Yeah. And we've talked about these places, but he and I have been a lot of other places together or separately. We've been to, I don't even know where all, I'll say I've been to somewhere he's not been, and I would like for him to go one day. Me and the kids went to Biltmore Mansion in North Carolina, and in Asheville, North Carolina, and that was a really cool place. Like, it was beautiful. To think that that was someone's home, like that's like where they lived at some point, that was crazy to me. Place is massive. It was very, very cool. I'm allergic to spending money and don't like big cities. If I wasn't married, I'd stay home.
Me too, Kyle. That's one thing I was gonna say. You want to finish what you were saying?
Oh, I was just saying, if they ever get a chance to go to Asheville, that's another one of those places that was really cool.
I was going to start a YouTube channel called The Couch Potatoes Guide to Traveling the World, because if given the option of going anywhere in the world or staying at home and sitting on the couch, I'm going to choose staying at home on the couch 10 out of 10 times, every time. Because I just don't have a desire to go these places, but she's always gotten me to go to these places, and at the end of the day, it's always worth it. It's always worth the trip. Now, whether or not like they're taking me to Paris and London later this year,
November.
Like, my excitement level about going to Paris and London's not super high.
Well, he gets to go to Disneyland Paris.
But I do get to visit Disney World, Disneyland in Paris. So that's kind of exciting. And I get to go see all the Harry Potter stuff in London. So that's kind of exciting. But as far as the traveling to get there, oh my gosh. But once you get there, it's fun. It's, except the Bahamas and Los Angeles. That was terrible. And Puerto Vallarta and Cabo and Mazatlan.
I told him the other day I want to take him to see the Grand Canyon.
I've been close to it a few times.
That was really cool. That's actually one of like So my mom, she would get me and my older sister, and I mean we went all kinds of places, and we would drive these places. And so like I've seen almost all of the United States at this point. And but the Grand Canyon was one of those places that like I was in awe of how large it was.
I'm about to look up a place.
Okay. And it was really, really a cool place to see. Trying to think. Bailey and I have been to Jamaica. That was disgusting. Don't recommend it. We've been to the Dominican Republic twice. The Dominican isn't terrible. So the first time we went, we didn't stay in the main city. We went outside the city so we could go to Monkeyland. And now that was that part of wherever we went. It was not that great. But now the city part that we went to this past time in the Dominican was not bad. Let's see. Turks and Caicos, that is the most beautiful place I've ever been at this point. Where else have we been, Bailey? Jamaica, Bahamas, Turks and Caicos, Key West. Ooh, Key West is somewhere that I would love to go and stay several nights. It was very pretty, and I like the fact that you could just walk around. It was very safe. I loved Key West.
I went to Laughlin, Nevada one time, and my friend's brother, my friend, was trying to be slick and walk up the escalator backwards and busted his kneecap open on the escalator. You know, the little points on the escalator. He busted his kneecap open. We had to take him to the emergency room in Bullhead City, Arizona. So I've been to Nevada and Arizona. So
Nice.
and I've kind of been around. I've been to Dallas.
Yeah, you have.
Been to Springfield, Ohio.
Yep.
Let me tell you, that was a great place.
This is why I don't get on escalators.
I'm just
Bailey.
glad you spelled it right.
She didn't spell why right. She said way. But
Oh,
hey.
so close.
Oh, we went to Miami one time.
We did.
But I don't know, it might have been fine, but we were 19 years old. We were there for a concert. We had no money, so we were staying in some roach motel. I don't know what we were staying in. Wasn't great. So we might would like Miami now. Like it might would be better. But Miami at 19
one potato.
was not for us.
Been to Tampa.
Yeah. Tampa's not Clearwater is beautiful right outside of Tampa.
Oh yeah, me and Gavin went to Indianapolis, Indiana. If you are I don't imagine anybody on here is what I'm fixing to talk about, but if you are a college-aged partier, I don't know that you could find a better place than Indianapolis. I'll give Indianapolis 2 potatoes for scenery, 5 potatoes because we watched the Royal Rumble there. But if you're into partying and bars and, man, Indianapolis was where it was at.
And then me and Bailey leave tomorrow. We go to Nashville. That's one of our favorites.
Jacob.
Duly noted. Broadway is questionable. I would not be one of these people walking around down there at night by myself. No. There's a place we like to eat on Broadway. We get an Uber. We get dropped off at the door. They pick us up at the door, and we go back. Now I've walked Broadway during the daylight. It wasn't that bad. Nighttime, I would not. But I like Green Hills Mall outside of Nashville. That's one of the nicest malls we've ever been to. Kristen said what time we leave? 5:30 in the morning. She has pageant coaching in Jasper, Alabama at 10 a.m. So those are just some places we've been. I'm sure there's more, but I know there's more for me. But, and you know, she said, I bet the only places left like on, and she said she's packing now. Girl, you're a step ahead of me. The only places that I really have left that I really want to go that I haven't ever been is Italy, Greece, and Israel. I would love to go those places, and I am definitely the person that I had a list of places I wanted to go, and I'm steady marking them off. Some people are not those people, and that's kind of why we wanted to talk about trips tonight. He's not that person. And I think that I know that most of these places he goes just because I wanted to go.
100%.
But as he said earlier, he usually ends up having a good time.
Massanutten, Virginia.
Oh, yep. We've been to Massanutten.
1 star.
There's nothing there.
Potato.
It's not that it was a bad place. There's just nothing there.
There's nothing there.
Now, the resort that we stayed in, it probably would be a better time in like the summer because it had like putt-putt and golf and several different things to do.
Mm-hmm.
But we were there and it was cold. Now, it was a cool place. Like you could see like all different kinds of animals and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But it was only 2 hours from DC.
Mm-hmm. That's why we ended up in DC.
Yeah, we actually flew into DC and then we drove to Massanutten. So my mom and my Aunt Kelly have a timeshare that was their parents, and so they got a free week there, and so they invited us. And now I did love going there because I had a good time with them.
Yeah,
and that was I was so thankful that they invited us. Like we didn't have to pay to stay there, and that was awesome. But then Mom, on her way to DC, her car broke down and they had to find a Land Rover dealership. And anyway, it was a big mess. It was a mess. Poor Mom. Her trip was probably not nearly as fun as ours. But yeah.
So, if your wife wants to travel with her. If your husband wants to travel with him. It's about the experience. It's about the time that you get to spend together, the stories that you'll have to tell forever, and nothing that you buy, no gift that you could buy her or him is going to replace a memory.
Every holiday, we give gifts. That's what we give. We don't. I mean, we give trips. We don't give gifts. I can't tell you the last birthday gift I bought one of my kids. We don't buy birthday gifts. We take them places. We don't buy Christmas gifts. Now, they get a few things every year, but nothing.
I'm saying that'd be a stretch.
But not anything.
Yeah.
That, I mean, like, they'll get, like, stuff they need, like luggage or something like that.
For their travels.
Yeah, for their travels. But we always give a trip because, but I mean, you can ask them, what do you want? And they always say a trip. So that's what we do. But those are, as he said, you can't ever, like, trips don't tear up and trips don't fall apart. Like, gifts only last so long, most gifts. And so why not give something that, you know, you'll have that memory forever? And I think it's worth it. That's why we do Disney every year. That's their Christmas gift. This year it's London and Paris, but they're still Disney. It's Disneyland in Paris. And we'll go to Disney in December. It just won't be for as long as we usually go. But yeah, you know, I think that I always give my kids the option. Like when they were younger, do you want a trip or a gift? But they always chose a trip, so that's just what we do now. And that's actually why Bailey and I went to New York. So Bailey and my birthday, we're only 6 days apart, our birthdays. Poor Slade. But not poor Slade, because he gives us a trip and it's one gift. He only has to pay for one trip. Bailey, I think we're getting the short end of the stick over here.
I'm
not really. So she and I take a mother-daughter trip every January. This is something else that, you know, I strongly encourage. You know, we book a cruise. We've done this for 3 years now. Well, we're going on our 3rd year. I say 3 years because we're paying on the 3rd one at this point. We take a mother-daughter trip. We go on a cruise. So cruises, you can book it and then you have up until like a couple months before to pay on it. So we'll book it like a year out and then we'll pay on it. And anyway, and it's worth it. Like I say to them all the time, I like cruising because you have however many days you're on that boat, you can't get away from each other, really. You do everything together. You eat together, you shop together, you go to shows together, whatever. And it's really such a bonding time. So she and I, you know, we love cruising together, and I'm so thankful that we do that every year.
They go on cruises, and me and Gavin go watch wrestling.
They do. Yeah.
Got a big trip coming up at the end of the month. I'm pumped.
Yeah. We're all going to Savannah, but then Slade and Gavin are
Can't
leaving.
Even wipe a smile off my face right now.
Slade and Gavin are leaving. That's another place we've been several times. It's, Savannah.
That's a 3.5 potatoes.
There's certain parts of Savannah that are questionable, but the history there.
Yeah, 5 potatoes.
And like the town squares and stuff, that all of that's so nice. Like you can walk all of that area, but it's whenever you get outside of that, it's kind of questionable. It's sketchy.
Sketchy at best.
Yeah, like Bailey and I, we went by ourselves, I don't know, a few months ago, and we went for the Brandon Lake concert and the Brantley Gilbert concert. We did 2, and anyway. And we were walking. We hit a side road. We took a left, and me and her looked at each other, and we were like, we're going back and calling an Uber. We're not walking any farther because we were fine. And then all of a sudden you take a little turn and it wasn't that good.
No.
But, we go to Charleston in July for Bailey's pageant. And I've heard Charleston is like Savannah, but way nicer. So we'll keep y'all posted.
I'll be the judge of that. I'll let you know how many potatoes Charleston is.
Yeah. I mean, I hear it's great, but I don't know. Never been to Charleston.
They hadn't met the potato standard.
Right.
So we'll see.
Right. I would say Savannah. I would give it 3.5 as well.
3.5 potatoes. Worth a trip.
Yes. Go see the cathedral there.
And we're not gonna. I'm done. Beautiful. I'm not saying anything else. New Orleans.
Oh, I forgot about.
We went for our anniversary last year. We pulled into New Orleans.
Negative potatoes.
Walked in the hotel. Took an Uber to eat. Ubered back to the hotel. Packed our bags.
And left.
And drove to Biloxi, Mississippi.
Charleston is great, but tends to be pricier than other places.
WrestleMania is in New Orleans next year, so
and we have a room.
I have a room. I don't have tickets yet, but I do have a room, and I'm just But
I will say this: I did a lot more research this time than I did last time, and
-3/8 potatoes. I agree.
Yes.
Jacob.
And so the place we're staying, I'm going with you. Me and Bailey are going with y'all. They didn't know that. He's just finding out. Because I mean, we love a good trip. Bailey's never been, so she's gonna have to go check out how nasty New Orleans is. Just so she can go back and tell everybody. Hey, if you like
the smell of pee
and poop
and vomit
and
5 potatoes,
marijuana,
all just mixed together, it's great.
Yeah, it's so smelly and gross. We got shot at in our B&B on our bachelor trip. I'll tell you the story Sunday. I'll never go back. I had to talk to the police. No one else would. No. Yikes. Okay, this is what did it for me. And then we'll hush. New Orleans. Okay, so we were like, so first of all, the pictures of our hotel online looked nothing like the hotel did.
Fake news.
Okay. Let me say, I hadn't stayed at a place like that since I was in my teens, early 20s.
Jacob said, how convenient. I'm going also.
He's just finding out I'm going. So we get in there. Okay, and the lobby wasn't bad. It looked okay. We get in the room. It looked like some out of a horror scene. Yeah, movie. I said, bad. Oh no. So anyway, we're riding in the car and we're the Uber and we're having a conversation. And I'm like, I do not want to stay at that place. It is gross. I don't want to stay there. And he's like, okay, well, we'll stay somewhere else. At this point is what we're talking about. I think what did it in is I'm like, okay. I'm like, there is a Ritz-Carlton. It can't be bad. It's a Ritz-Carlton, right? We passed the Ritz-Carlton, and there are homeless people in the valet asking people for money.
When the Ritz-Carlton has been overrun.
That's true.
I was like, well, we got to go.
And I looked at him, and he looked at me, and we didn't say anything else, nothing else, until we got back to that hotel, and he was like, he said, I'll take you anywhere you want to go. If we can leave here. He said, a plane, a car, I don't care. He said, but I'll take you anywhere you want to go. We went to Biloxi, as you learned earlier. We do not gamble. But you know what? We went to an aquarium.
Good time.
And we went to a historical site there. We had a great time. And, yeah, so New Orleans, disgusting.
You better have a purpose if you're going to New Orleans.
Yeah.
WrestleMania is going to be that purpose.
Yeah. I'm not going to WrestleMania. I'm just going to New Orleans because
we're going to be in a poorhouse.
Well, no, because I was talking to Miss Terry Bailey's pageant coach, and she was telling me that there was some really cool historical places to see there, and she was telling me like how to do it because she's been to several like national championships there. Anyway, so I was getting all of the details from her, someone who I trust. And so me and Bailey might go check out some historical sites while we're there.
All right, guys. So, now you have a list of places that you can go. You know how many potatoes it is. And stay tuned for the next installment of the Couch Potatoes Guide to Traveling the World.
Yes.
Love you guys.
Love you guys. Bye.
Bye.